This is genuinely one of the best pre-built keyboards on the market right now. With its sleek design, high-quality PBT keycaps, smooth and Thocky switches, as well as beautiful lighting, you'd expect a huge price tag, but the Nuphy Halo65 comes in at just $120. This board was sent out to me a couple months back, and while I was excited to try it out, I did not expect it to be this good. I haven't went back to my modded Keycaps Q1 and find that it still beats every other keyboard I've tried. Nuphy is still a pretty new brand, but has already launched 2 low-profile boards in the past that have been well received. Now they've come out and made their first high-profile board, which leads me to believe they're going to be a big player in this space in the coming years. The Halo65 is a 65% layout, giving you the arrow keys as well as delete, page up and down, and end. When I first started daily driving it, I did miss having the dedicated media keys, but the more compact profile is well worth the sacrifice. Plus, the legends on the keycaps make it simple to press function and perform the regular media controls by pressing these corresponding number. This works a little different on Windows. You're going to have to press FN and Shift in order to get any of the media controls working. The build quality is solid, with the top frame being made out of aluminum, whereas the bottom portion is constructed of ABS plastic. This doesn't give the same weight as some keyboards, but it doesn't make it feel cheap. At the bottom are 4 rubber feet that will prevent you from scratching up your desk, as well as the 2 height adjustable feet. They have an orange accent color that goes along well with the colorful profile of the entire board. I have opted though to switch out the accented keycaps and just stick with these solid white ones, as I want a more cleaner look on my desk. I can however see in some spaces how the colors can really make this board pop and add some character. I've been using the 2-tone wrist rest in addition and think it's a really nice add-on. You can definitely use the board without it. I don't find the height to be an issue, but it complements it well aesthetically, and the smooth acrylic material does feel very nice. The one thing I will say is it does get dirty pretty easily, fingerprints show up quickly, and it has shown some scratches with use. You can grab it for $29 and have the choice for the strip at the bottom to either be white or black. The PBT keycaps are super high quality and have a very smooth texture to them. I'm personally a big fan of the font and like the green colored accents for the media functions. Typing on them is a joy, and even though they aren't shine through, the way the lighting shines underneath looks super clean. You can pick up some ABS shine through keycaps as a $19 add-on if that's something you're into, but they won't have quite the same feel and quality due to them using ABS plastic instead. By default, they have legends for macOS, but there are extra Windows ones included in the box. I went with the gateron G Pro Red 2.0 switches and couldn't have been happier with my choice. I used to be really into browns, but I can't get over how smooth these ones feel and the satisfying sound signature that they have. I find that the Reds are a great middle ground for gaming and work, as they have a lower actuation force and smooth bumpless feel. If you are used to more tactile switches, they will take some getting used to. Expect me making a lot of typos and having a ton of misclicks, but after a few weeks of getting used to them, this is no longer an issue. I've started to honestly prefer these over browns and even my Holy Panda switches, as I just can't get over how crisp they are. They come pre-lubed, which is a plus, but also the stock stabilizers on the board are very impressive. A lot of pre-built keyboards, and especially gaming ones, tend to cheap out here, so this is nice to see. In addition to this, Nuphy is using silicone rubber in here to dampen noise, so you're not getting that pingy sound and have a very stable typing experience. There's no rattling whatsoever of any of the keys, which was a pleasant surprise. Coming from the gasket mounted design though of the Keycaps Q1, I didn't like how stiff it felt at first, but after so much time using it, it has become a non-issue. For me, it's worth the trade-off for just how good typing does sound. In the box, you're given extra keycaps if you want to change up the accent colors or just stick with a solid white color like I did. You also have one of each switch, which is nice if you want to get a feel for all of them and see if you want to go out and buy another set. Because the board is hot-swappable, doing this is super easy. You get a tool in the box so you can use both to remove the keycaps but also pull out the switches. Do note that taking the keyboard straight out of the box, at least on my unit, the spacebar was using their baby kangaroo switch, even though I did get the Gateron Pro Red configuration. You can connect the keyboard in one of 3 ways: over the 2.4 GHz USB dongle, Bluetooth, or using a wired cable. I've used a coiled cable 99% of the time, but most recently got a new one from Highstar. I find it to be more convenient because I never need to worry about charging it. It looks super good and does provide the lowest level of latency, which is great for my late night gaming sessions. If you don't have your own cable, there is one included that you can use, though it's honestly not the best quality. The USB receiver is magnetically stored at the back of the board whenever not in use, and is your next best option if you don't want to go wired. Lastly, you can choose to connect the keyboard over Bluetooth, and is by far the most convenient, as you can connect up to 3 different devices and switch between them seamlessly. To swap between connection modes, you can use the switch at the back to go from off to wired or wireless. I do wish they had a switch to change between different OSs, but the shortcut is simple enough. For Windows, you need to press Function XS, and then for Mac, it's Function XA. Because it's wireless, battery life is worth mentioning. You get a 4,000 mAh battery, which Nuphy claims can provide up to 240 hours of continuous use, though having lighting enabled will drastically reduce this number. I've never really been much of an RGB guy, but I do love what Nuphy's done here in terms of the lighting effects. You of course have the lights for each one of the keys, but in addition to that, you have the strip going around the casing of the board. This makes for a super cool effect when it's sitting on the desk, and is certainly something that will make your setup stand out from others. There is a software that's available for Windows, but it's not very good, and I had to reinstall it multiple times before it finally worked. It's also missing basic features. You're not even able to adjust the halo light settings for your keyboard. Adjusting the light effects straight on the keyboard requires remembering a bunch of different commands, but the ones to know are function left arrow to change the effect, and function right arrow to change the color. For the halo light or that light strip around the keyboard, hitting function H and the arrows works exactly the same as the backlighting. The LED in the top left corner works as a battery indicator, caps lock indicator, charging indicator, but also can just be set to a lighting effect like the rest of the board. Hitting function question mark and the arrows allows you to change the effects and color. Wrapping it up, the Nuphy Halo65 is right now my favorite keyboard. I thought at first I'd use it solely for gaming because of a smaller form factor and red switches, but after typing up so many video scripts and coding assignments, I haven't wanted to leave it. The pre-lube gateron Pro switches and fantastic stabilizers make the board sound great and feel very satisfying to use. At $120, it's hard not to recommend to anyone interested in the keyboard hobby or just looking for a mechanical board to use to work and game. Nuphy did an incredible job with this design, and I recommend keeping your eye on them because I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. There's going to be a link in the description if you want to check out the board for yourself. If there's anything else you want to know, feel free to drop a comment, but with that, I've been Cole, and I appreciate you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, but until then, take care.